I mean, a big takeaway of today's show is, look, you got to take calculated risk. You got to double down when the economy, when everybody is like, oh, I'm not, my real estate portfolio, I'm not able to refinance, I'm stuck, this and that. But now it's like, okay, well, what's going to happen over the next 18 months? How many opportunities will come back? Where can we transition? Where can we put our focus? And most of the time, it's just a little bit of a tweak to what you're already doing that will make you more successful. And the more valuable your time comes, that's success. Because then you can just work less and make way more money.
Well, good morning, and good morning. Vinney and Beau are back. Hi guys, everybody listening to us. This is Vinney and Beau Show. We've been doing it for almost 3 years, Beau. I can't believe it, man. We started it as a small show, and now we do podcast, reel, and all these great things. And Beau is doing great. He's from the Bay Area, but he moved to Las Vegas. Some of you were following us, and I still live in the Danville, Black Hawk area in California. How are you, Beau? How are you things, man?
Doing very well. Staying extremely busy. So my calendar is busy every single day. That's part of what I have to do is limit my availability because my calendar will stay completely filled. So it's a blessing and a curse. Right?
Yeah. But, we got to everybody listening to us. It's so important that we are using time wisely. And just what you said, by penetrating when the people are calling us, like I've got 54 emails sequence now, 54 emails with lots of great information and everything. Once people come into the funnel and go high level, Beau, then they have to go through all these. And I can see at what stage there are so many people. So it depends on their interest level. If they want to move further, to book a call with me after that. And that's what I'm sure you are also doing that.
I'm planning on going to the Traffic and Conversion Summit here in Las Vegas in January. Richard Branson is the keynote speaker. It's going to be awesome. They've got I've never been to it. A guy named Ryan Deese puts this on, and they're this is really high level, marketing funnels and everything. And I think that's important to note. I'm a real estate and loan guy and business guy, but I understand the importance of using technology, right, to build a funnel and a machine that brings you in business, right? And how do you do that more effectively? Because if you want to grow, the best way to grow is to clone yourself. To clone yourself, you use AI, you use video, you use editors, you use other people, you use technology. And so I'm excited to go to this conference. It's in January.
That would be exciting. Yeah. I would love for us to maybe recap what you learned, right after your conference, because anybody listening to us, if you're struggling to get leads, if you're struggling to get your ratios are not working, economic downturns and everything is affecting your business, this is the time to double down so that you can get more people in, make yourself unique. That's the key. Getting glasses like me, and I'm heading out to the summit there in Orlando, and we got maybe 250 to 300 people going to be at the summit, and I'm so pumped up to motivate and excited and so forth, and sharing my 3 books, giving them out like crazy, signing them away. It's so true. We talk about all these cutting edge things. Of course, to get the job done for a very good copy, it's so important. And you shared with me about the press release. Let's talk about that, because a lot of people are not using that technique. It's a hack, which is amazing. So talk about that, could you?
Yeah, so there's a lot of, you can really, there's a bunch of different PR companies that you can upload a press release. And so if you're promoting something and it gets syndicated out to all these different news publications, and it's really good for search engine optimization. And also you can share these articles and blog posts with others. And sometimes in the past, I've got interviewed because of blog posts and things I've done in the past. So news editors and things are looking at these things and they're like, oh, I want to interview this person because they're doing an event.
Yep.
So I usually do a lot of press releases when I'm doing any sort of event. I'll do press releases. Very fairly inexpensive to do, and I think they you can reap a lot of rewards out of it.
That's cool.
So that's all part of this multi-channel omnipresence that I think we all should do, because when it all comes down to it, we're all in the leads business. If you don't have leads, you don't have a business typically, in most cases, right? So if you're a real estate syndicator, or you're a loan broker, or you're a real estate agent, or you're an insurance broker, or you're a financial planner, or pretty much anything service-based in those types of sectors, we get our business from our funnels and our lead gen.
Yeah.
And that could be referrals. That could be now, when we're talking the other day, Vinney, you're like, you should ask everybody for a referral. I wasn't.
Yes.
Naturally, referrals were coming.
Yeah.
What if I every conversation I said, oh, by the way, if you know anybody that would be interested in the service that I offer, please refer them to me. And then what if I go from I'd probably average I would say 4 or 5 referrals a week. But what if I had intentionally offered, asked for referrals? That would transition to 10 to 15 leads extra per week.
I love it.
What would that do to my business?
I love it. This is a great hack. Everybody listening to us, it's one of the best hacks I ever dreamt about 40 years back, literally 35 years back. And then I told my company, even when they sign at the bottom, guess what? We had 4 spaces to write referrals. Hold on. So we printed it on the contract itself. That was the best hack ever, because then once they're signing and we are signing the contract, it says referral 1, referral 2, referral 3, referral 4. And all the consultants will remember to ask that right away and then write down the name of their best friends or best colleagues or, family, friends. Hey, by the way, can you think about in the church that you go to, or if you play golf, can you think of your 2, 3 good buddies who might benefit with the service that I shared with you? So that's a great hack, bro. The other hack is that you got to ask everybody whether they buy or not buy. Especially if they don't buy, guess what? They want to give you back something because you spent time, you taught them, you gave them some good information, and they feel bad that they are not in a position to do business with you. You should ask them more. You say, by the way, I hope you liked what I shared with you. Maybe in 3 months, 6 months, 9 months, you might be ready for it. But can you think of 1 or 2 or 3 people in your close circle who could benefit from this? There we go.
Yeah, I think this is an important topic because we're going into 2024.
Yeah.
And the other day, I'm like, look, I am behind the 8 ball right now because I have not generated my marketing and business plan for 2024 yet. So today I'm going to work on my marketing and business plan for 2024.
Yeah.
And it's going to include things like asking for referrals. Just think about if you just did these little things for each avenue of your business. If you created one more video content piece per week for 52 weeks, if you asked everybody you talk to for a referral, if you ask for a referral in your signature line or a call to action in your signature line in your email, what will that do for your business? Remember, every video you do is a clone of yourself where people, actually, I'll tell you a good story, Vinney. Somebody saw the Vinney Beau Show, and the guy knew you because he's in multifamily syndication, and you probably watched it on your wall because we do this show collectively, right?
Yes.
And then he reached out to me and said, "Hey, I need some financing. I'm looking at buying a bunch of these franchise businesses right now because I want to own some operating companies."
Yes.
And so the point is like, look, Vinney and I do this show because we enjoy it, but also it brings in deals, right? And so the more the more channels, the more omnipresent you can be, and like evergreen. So you're always going out there. Because even Vinney said the other day to me, he says, "Oh, I see you everywhere now, right?" Because everywhere. And I'm running Facebook ads and I'm doing retargeting ads.
Yep.
So everybody will see me, and it just becomes a numbers game that the more people that see me and they like what I say will reach out. And that's what's happening. There's no rocket science to it. It's just putting in the work and then learning little techniques to plug in, like the referral techniques. The signature, a call to action on your signature line.
Yes.
To cut your video using Opus Pro and then share your reels on channels, because it's the same content. Yeah. You're not doing any work. Then you have a one or two marketing assistants that can help syndicate all this stuff out, right? And so then anything can be outsourced. So you figure out what can be outsourced. You outsource all those tasks, and then you work on what makes you the most high paying and the most fulfilling part of what you want to do, and you just do that. If you can do that, and then you take in you get it. My guy Dan Martell, he wrote a book, Buy Back Your Time, and this dude is super sharp and super successful.
Yes.
And he doesn't even check his inbox in his email anymore. He has his executive admin in his inbox, and everything flows into his inbox. His business, his personal. She takes care of it all, and she responds back. This is, there's a note in there that this is Dan's assistant, executive assistant, Sabrina or whatever her name is. So the point is like this can be all managed.
Yes.
And we should be all buying back our time, because time is the most precious thing we have. Totally. And to buy back your time and to be more efficient is the ultimate goal for everybody.
You said it so right. And this is the right time for us to tweak our systems, I call it. Automate, delegate, delete. Automate, delegate, delete. We got to delete a lot of things, guys. I'm telling you. If you have been doing the same thing over and over and over and over again and not getting results, that's insanity. That's the definition of insanity. So you got to delete a lot of stuff. You got to automate a lot of stuff, and you got to rethink and get yourself back in the game, because it's getting tougher and tougher. I mean, look at what's happening. Everybody's social media now. Everybody's trying to get their piece of the pie. What's your pie? So you got to make your product benefits. See, that's what I've come to realize myself. Nobody wants to know who Vinney is, how good he is. He's done $1 billion AUM, this. No. What problem can I solve for somebody? That's where our message should be. Our message should be, I can do this for you. If you're having this problem, I can solve that problem. And the bigger the problem you can solve, which in my case, I can invest people's money in a good way so that they can make not just 6, 7, 8, 10%, but 20% or more and all that, in real estate, and get tax advantages and all that stuff. So it's so important what you're saying, Beau, is that we need to reinvent our wheel. We got to be, I'm saying that this whole presentation in Orlando next week, I'm preparing myself, visualizing what I'm going to talk about. And it's all the mindset. It's just right here in small, little mind. You got to set it for abundance. You got to set it for affirmations. You got to set it for crushing it in 2024. Even though you had a bad year this year. So what? We had a bad year this year, actually. My whole company, it's not that strong, some deals did very well, but some other deals, we just couldn't, and it was not a good environment to buy stuff yet. People are waiting for it. I'm waiting for it, all that stuff. But the key thing is you got to look at your business and bring it into positivity mode, because if you're thinking you're depressed, you're, things are not going right, guess what you're going to get more of? Same thing. We always get the same thing, what we are thinking about. We got to psych our mind up for, getting into a more productive way. And marketing is the engine for any company, time, value, money. But the time also, the best time you and I can spend is with the real people who want to use our services, right? Yeah, yeah.
Exactly. Yeah, no, I think this is really important. And the thing too, if you're stuck in a negative mode, you're not working on the things that will actually move the needle. Because we all know there's ebbs and flows in the economy, and we're in this kind of down pressured economy right now. And there's negative news, there's wars, there's a bunch of shit, excuse my French, that's going on right now. But I tell you what, the one thing I know is I'm more driven than ever right now. I'm more driven, and I see the writing on the wall, and I am going to go harder than I've ever gone, but in a more efficient and tactical way.
Yes.
And if you guys all do the same thing, it doesn't matter up, down economy. Sure, we're going to have problems. We're going to have to work out stuff. But I can tell you what, if you dig deep, this is the time to make all the money, to position for all these opportunities that are right in front of you. And with a negative mindset, you're not going to get it. You're going to get it from going, okay, I got punched in the face. I got a little blood on my nose from being punched in the face. But I go, hey, this is part of the game. If you're not willing to get punched in the face, you probably shouldn't be in the ring. Go sit down and just let life pass you by. But if you're willing to be in the game and you're willing to step in the ring, and you know that, hey, I'm going to get up, I might get knocked down a few times, but when I get up, I'm training every day. I'm putting in reps every day when people are sleeping. I'm up walking, I'm strength training, I'm stretching, I'm planning, I'm listening to podcasts, and then I take action. And that's what we all need to do. And you know, it's not easy. It's not easy.
Not easy at all.
If you want to live a fulfilled life,
you bet.
You want to live the fulfilled life, you got to do it.
You got to come out of the comfort zone, I call it. Tony Robbins talks about that, pain and pleasure. That's so important because all the successful people don't like to do the things that they have to do, by the way. Unsuccessful people do those things and they are unsuccessful. But the successful people come out of the comfort zone. They don't really change the whole plan drastically. They change it incrementally. The victories are done small. Rome was not built in a day, I say always, but action cures fear. Why people don't reach their dreams and goals? It's the fear of the unknown, fear of, do I need to get going right now? Fear of not taking risks in life. That's the biggest fear in life, I'm telling you. A lot of people are so driven and not want to take any calculated risk that they stay on the sideline. That's why the 3% of the population makes X amount of money, 1% makes X amount, 0.01% makes X amount, because they are risk takers, calculated risk, and you win in life if you're good. Half the time you're better. You will, do well in life, right?
Yeah, I love that. Yeah. I mean, a big takeaway of today's show is, look, you got to take calculated risk. You got to double down when everybody is like, oh, I'm not, my real estate portfolio, I'm not able to refinance, I'm stuck, this and that. But now it's like, okay, well, what's going to happen over the next 18 months? How many opportunities will come back? Like, for a while it was hard to make money in multifamily. Like right now it's hard to make money compared to it was 4 years ago or 3 years ago or 2 years ago. But with the stress will come opportunities in that space again. And so there's going to be opportunities. I see people going after office right now because they're seeing opportunities, because most people are like, I'm not going to touch that asset class. Well, somebody's going to make money with it. They're going to figure out that, this is still a good office building and the occupancy sucks, but I'm going to release it up. They're buying it, 50% occupied, but it's still debt covers because they're getting it at such a good price. So there's always upside on any asset class. And then what are the trends? What are the trends looking like? Well, why now do I see so many people looking to buy businesses and to buy franchises? Because they're diversifying. They're like, hey, I'm going to diversify and own lots of cash flow. And there's opportunities in these fields, and they go into these fields, and, some of them will really win. Some will do marginal and some won't do good. But, yeah, I mean, where can we transition? Where can we put our focus? And most of the time, it's just a little bit of a tweak to what you're already doing that will make you more successful. Like when I just realized that little component of share my knowledge, and call to action, book a call with Beau, right?
Yep.
Once I started doing that over and over again, what happened? My calendar stayed full.
Yep.
Now what's my big problem now is I don't have much time left. So what do? I tweak my calendar. They have to do a pre-qualification first. Do you have a deal under contract? Yes. Okay, you go to this calendar. Is this just general questions? You go to my B calendar, right? And because my time is becoming so much more valuable.
Yes.
And then at some point, I want to track my time and go, okay, for every hour I work, I make X amount of thousands of dollars. That's your goal. So the more, like if you're currently at $50 an hour, your goal for 2024 is to be worth $100 an hour. Or if you're currently at $500 an hour, how do you make yourself $1,000 an hour person, right? Because we could really break it down. We'll take your income and the assets you're buying in the future, and then we break it down. Okay, what does that really equate to per hour? And the more valuable your time comes, that's success. Because then you can just work less and make way more money.
I love that. Have that hourglass, on my desk. I have that hourglass. I would like to see even not only 60 minutes, like that, but even a 20-minute class. Spend as little time as you can, because try to ask the right questions of the people in your call. Find out right from the first 4 minutes what the call is about, and ask very pertinent questions so that we are not wasting their time or our time at the same time, right? And be very, very humble right away, Hey, I want to really let you know I have so many appointments today, and I want to give you the best shot. And, please let me know, what you're really looking for. So this way you could cut down that time. Also, the other thing I would like to say, a good hack is to really, try to give your best right away. Give your very best right away, and try to see if they're biting it or not. And then you also give them decision making. I think you and I did a show together, you tell them, hey, it's going to be very easy for you to decide on what I'm going to share with you. It's not like buying a house or a car or anything. It's just like in my courses and all that, my salespeople, they just say it's going to be very easy for you to decide if you want to move to the multifamily ladder quicker, faster, and things like that. So what we are talking about is time value of money, what you just said, time value, and then prioritizing your calendar so that you are spending time with the servant. Having a servant attitude is so important for any CEO, anybody, entrepreneur, solopreneur. You got to be a servant. You want to make sure who you're serving and serve more, and not worry about what's going to come back or not. Give your best presentation ever to everybody.
I love it. Yeah, I'm motivated. And that's another reason we do the show too. It motivates ourselves just to talk through all these things. It's like, look, there's so much to do.
Yeah.
And this what really moves, it's really not, money is great. Don't get me wrong. The more money you have, you take more vacations, and Vinney was just in Italy for 17, 18, 20 days. But also it's just being fulfilled with your day. Yeah. Like your day needs to, there's so many people that they work this corporate job their whole life, right? And they retire at 65. 2 years later, they drop dead because they have no purpose in life, right? Yeah. And it's like such a shame. So I want to be that other person that hey, I might do what I'm doing to some component of my life till I'm dead, right? Like I'm going to just keep going because I love what I do. And that's like I think we should all aspire to do that. Like, why would I want to stop doing something I enjoy? What do I do? I help people. Yes. I take people that want to start a business and maybe don't have the skills yet or the direction, and I help them get there, or they need to figure out how they leverage this business to buy or this real estate. And I help create generational wealth for people. And I could do that probably the rest of my life. But now, I'm playing at a bigger level. And so instead of doing, the small deals, I go, look, I can keep doing small deals, but it's really not going to move the needle for as many people as.
Oh my gosh, you hit the nail on the head, brother. I'm talking about that at that Orlando Summit, 100 Millionaires Summit. By the way, anybody in Orlando, if you're there, please come by to the Florida hotel, I think, and we'll have such great sessions from the 3rd of November till the 5th. And the good part is, though, I want to say something. What you just said is so important because you got to make sure that you're excited. You need to take some small vacations. I went on 4th vacation. I just booked the 5th one for December in Cancun. But the thing is, when you take this small vacation, it could be right where you live, right there. But take that time to reset and rejuvenate, I call it. Because if you're just working, you got to take one afternoon off. Or the weekend, you shut off the phone, you shut off the laptop, you don't talk. I didn't talk on the phone for 16 days. 16 days in Italy and Malta. I loved it. As I came back, 2 days back, I've been crushing it. I've been so motivated, so excited about everything that's going to happen in 2 months. So I'm ready. And I hope everybody takes some examples of us, to recharge, reignite yourself. And the other part is take time to plan your future. See, we are running, gunning. But sharpening the saw is so important. Just like Stephen Covey talked about, right? The woodcutters, 2 of them, one kept on cutting the saw, right. One took, after 1 hour, sharpened the saw, took a little time off and, rejuvenated and then started cutting. He cut twice as many trees as the other person who was working, running and gunning all 8 hours. So let's be the person who is sharpening the saw every hour, so that we can make a useful time, useful opportunities, and be the servant, be the biggest servant ever, because the more people we serve, more business will come back in your lap. Yeah.
Mic drop. Boom. We're good. We'll see you on the next episode.
See you in the next episode. Take care, guys. Talk to you. Bye-bye.